Okay, so here we have a situation where I was expressing in a recent video that I made about how younger black boys are essentially programmed in some kind of way early on in life to run through as many girls as they can, try to get as many girls as they can, revolve your whole image, demeanor, and aesthetic around getting as many girls as you can. And a false narrative that gets pushed way too often in the black community is, hey, do you want to run through a bunch of girls before you settle down? Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to settle down. And honestly, I see Two Chains as a better example of a father in the industry that he's in than some others. Because what we'll say is like, oh look, this is a dad and his son, and he's in his son's life from day one. He's married to the son's mom. That's fine. But there also doesn't seem to be a point of, hey, son, this ain't really what you need to be doing. This ain't what you need to be focused on. You need to be focused on other things. You need to focus on building yourself, developing yourself, growing up, becoming a man, and not really worried about these girls like that. Especially since his son is ripe old age of 7, 8. Why is he talking like that at 8? But this is normal in the black community. Honestly, like these young boys at Halo's age, this is normal. And this was normal even when I was a kid. And it comes down to a point where we got to start questioning where the community falls as it comes to the boys. And the boys is just is you see it when they hit teenagers. All they want to do is try to get laid. They want to wear all the flashy clothes and the fancy stuff. They want to be like Future and Two Chains. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Two Chains actually does it correctly. I know it might sound crazy, but Two Chains been with his wife since 2006, I think, and they got married in 2018. They got 3 kids together. All them kids is his. All the kids are hers. And he don't got a bunch of baby mamas, as far as I'm concerned. Two Chains only got the 3 kids with the woman he's married to, which is a good, you know, foundation for the son and his daughters. It's a great foundation for his kids. But he's still not instilling any kind of respectable knowledge into the son to be like, hey, son, look, it's okay for you to want to be with one woman and only one woman, which I think the black community needs to be more open about talking about because we are so dumb when it comes to sexual responsibility. We are so dumb when it comes to sexual, reproductive, and everything else. And for Ku King to just sit there and watch his son talk like that instead of saying, yo, watch your mouth, because you really not about to be on no type of time like that, speaks values to what the black community values as far as like decision making and morality. I love seeing the fact that Two Chains actually spends time with his kid. I love seeing that. His son seemed happy. His son seemed like he loved his dad. His dad seemed like he loved his son. They love each other. They got a good relationship. They even do a podcast together. But the problem is, you have an episode where Lotto was on there, and Lotto's not actually a mean person, right? Like I actually kind of like Lotto as a person, and she was playing with him, and he said, I got her number, dad, I got the W Riz or whatever. Hilarious, right? And Lotto just laughing like, yeah, you got the W Riz, you know what I'm saying, make sure you hit me up so I can lock you in. Like, she playing with him, and it's cute, but at the same time you basically tell him all you gotta do is get the number and he gonna get the slide in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might not take you seriously like that because he already know he not really gonna get you, but he might go out into the streets and do that to other girls. And it comes a time where we got to start really thinking like, okay, has what we've been doing, has it been working? And honestly, it hasn't been working. So now you got younger black boys walking around thinking all they got to do is show up and get some cheeks, because let's be honest, a lot of them just do that. And then they end up bombing. Then they go to the next girl, then they go to the next girl, then they go to the next girl. These young boys are sexually charged early because the music they get exposed to from their parents, the actions out in the neighborhood, and the community morality. So if people are complaining about these boys running around sexualizing everybody and having sex and doing this, Look at where it started. And I mentioned in my video when I was a kid, the old heads in the neighborhood used to be like, "Young boy, you got to get it in where you can. Don't try to get, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, nah, just hold out. Have sex as much as you can. Get out the system. This, that, and third." And it really clinically inclines you to think that that's what you have to do. And honestly, I would say that's more damaging because now you see, and I see it in a lot of men who've had a bunch of sex with a bunch of different women, they have a hard time settling down because I went from bombing whatever I wanted or bombing whoever I could to I only can bomb this one woman. And if she pissed me off, I gotta go sexually unsatisfied until she decides she wants to be sexual. So she wants to be sexually active with me again. And then I've also seen situations where the husband and the wife have disagreements. They kind of split up and not divorce or officially end the marriage, but they just not messing with each other. And then he go and hit whatever he can, and then go back to the marriage like nothing ever happened because he had to get those urges out. And that's why I say it's a bad deal to put this into our boys like this. Asian boys are not told to do this. Some white boys might be told, but a lot of white boys aren't. Indian boys aren't. Hispanic boys aren't. But our boys are. And nobody pays attention to the fact that no other community moves how we do when it comes to this topic. So yeah, do I give credit where credit is due? Yes, but where I see a problem, the problem needs to be addressed. We are focused on the wrong shit as a community. And the worst part about it is being a younger teenager, if you disagree with a girl or something like that, the first thing they're gonna say is that's why you don't get no ass. That's why you ugly. This, that, and the third. And then like dang, so the insults, even sex has become so trivialized in our community to the point where it's used as an insult when you don't agree with somebody. Like Like, how does that even make any sense? I never heard a white girl telling a white boy that's why you don't get no ass. Same thing for them other races. But in our community, yeah, that's what happens. You gotta have sex to become a winner. And that is drilled into our young boys' minds. We gotta switch this up. There's nothing wrong with you having one woman that you want to be with, and there is nothing wrong with you not chasing coochie. Because honestly, it's not worth it. You need to chase your future, your purpose, your goals, things like that. You don't really gotta chase sex. Because chasing sex, you end up in a situation where your name is in the system, and you got the government telling you what you need to do with your money every 2 weeks, every paycheck. Then you're not happy. Then you complain about being forced to pay child support and stuff like that. But it was avoided. It was avoidable. You got a lot to lose as a man in these streets out here. Even if you want to be a responsible father, you still got stuff to lose. So I would encourage people to really start considering how we deal with our boys. We tell the girls, yeah, go to college, get your degree, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then we put the boys in Jordans and say have fun out in the street. No, we got to start putting more of these type of things into the boys. Put them in technology, put them in coding, put them in fucking math class and stuff like that. Turn our sons into the men that y'all say we don't have, so that the daughters, the future generation of daughters, can have something to build with. And let's be honest, the girls do have things to build with, but they don't want those type of dudes. But that's for another video. The daughters would have something more capable to build with or find if we put more moral compasses into our boys when they're young, flex the hell out of their brains early to make them critical thinkers younger. So that way, when they hit the age of 18, 19, 20, they're in college with boys of other races and sitting at the same table kicking their ass. But the only thing we tell our boys is money, cars, clothes, hoes. That's it. Become a basketball player, become a football player, become a rapper, get famous. That way you'll be successful. There's so many other ways of success than fame. Everybody can't be the next Will Smith. Everybody can't be the next Wayne. So we got to start really focusing on what really makes you successful. Because let's be honest, we have a terrible relationship with money and fashion as well. So I think that on a strong note, we got to start really putting our boys into another lane of morality and discipline. And the women are complaining about the boys being sexually uh aggressive and overly sexual and all this other stuff, but y'all the same ones that's rewarding them for being that way. Y'all don't say, nigga, you gotta act like a gentleman. I don't like all that over sexual talk and all that ill. No, that's not what's happening. Y'all going, okay, cool. So if we had some kind of standard on the men, because we do need to have a standard on the men and the women, but the problem is the black community don't like structure or anything positive, because if there's is positivity, y'all push it away, or this, that, and third. Y'all just want to have sex and have kids and then complain about the outcome of the dumb decisions that y'all make, but y'all want the men to be responsible, but y'all won't raise responsible men or have the dads be in the kids' lives. But the dads also want to run around being irresponsible, but don't want to be in the kids' lives. But you want to have sex and make the kids, but don't want to raise the kids. So you leaving the chemical imbalance. We have a problem. So something got to change, and it needs to be the way the black community views sexual activity, the way we put sexual activity thoughts into our children, and stop teaching our kids that they have to have all this fun until they're 50. Don't have kids with a bunch of different people and then try to find a wife and a husband later on down the line. No, have your kids with one person. And if the unfortunate situations happen, as far as a death in the family, as far as an accident, or y'all just divorced and y'all still co parent well, then if you find somebody else and y'all can have a kid together too. But all this, I'm just sleeping around and having kids with people and then I'll figure it out down the road, that shit dead. So yeah, this is what's killing young black boys out here. It's killing them. It's killing them. And nobody wants to talk about it. But I will. I'll talk about it. Like I said, this is not a personal jab at Two Chains. I'm proud of Two Chains for making a nuclear family. I'm proud of Two Chains for being his son's life and loving his daughters and loving his wife correctly, showing his kids the way you're supposed to do it. Don't just be out here doing whatever with whoever. But at the same time, he still got to check his son on that thought process before that freezes over in his head and he moves into this lifestyle. So, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe for more. I'll see y'all on the next one.